Dear learners, welcome to the Swayam MOOC course on Geography of Health and Well-being. I hope the last few modules have provided a solid orientation to our course on the Geography of Health and Well-being. Health is a complex and dynamic concept influenced by a myriad of factors. This complexity arises from the numerous elements that have contributed to and impact health. Factors such as genetics, which are hereditary and beyond our control, play significant role in determining our health. Additionally, external factors like global warming, globalization are beyond individual control. They also affect our health. Understanding these influences is crucial as we delve deeper into the subject matter. Today's module, therefore, will focus on the driving forces of health. These include genetics, environmental and geographical factors, socioeconomic factors, lifestyle choices, globalization, healthcare access and quality, societal determinants, economic policies, technological advancements, political stability and governance, education, urbanization, workplace conditions, and the list goes on and on and on. In today's module, we will cover a range of determinants of health. This includes geographical factors such as extreme temperature, air and water quality, soil conditions, land use changes, climate change, environmental hazards and disasters, exposure to noise and light pollution that play significant role in determining health status. Socioeconomic components like income, education, occupation, access to healthcare, and social and economic policies are also crucial determinants. Socio-cultural aspects including lifestyle choices, cultural practices, gender roles, support systems, and experiences of discrimination and inequality further shape health outcomes. Political influences such as governance, political stability, public policy and funding, and public-private partnership are vital for health infrastructure and services. Demographic factors including age, gender, population density, migration, and their impact on health needs and risk is also significant. Urbanization. Urbanization brings in both opportunities and challenges, with issues like slums, availability and accessibility to health services. It is one side of urbanization. And on the other hand, in urban areas, there is more chances of finding better health services. Globalization, global institutions, global politics also affects health through disease spread and control. Food insecurity remains a significant concern, leading to malnutrition and related issues. Finally, biological and genetic factors influence individuals' susceptibility to diseases. Understanding these driving forces is crucial as we delve deeper into the subject matter. The role of geography in health is profound and multifaceted, influencing health outcomes through various environmental and spatial factors. Air quality is a critical geographical factor, with pollutants like particulate matter and toxic gases contributing to respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. Access to clean water is another geographical concern that is essential for health, as contaminated water can lead to number of diseases and illnesses. Soil quality, influenced by geographical conditions, affects health through its impact on agriculture and food safety. Contaminated soil can introduce harmful chemicals into the food chain. Additionally, changes in land use, land cover, such as deforestation, urbanization, can disrupt ecosystems and increase exposure to pollutants, leading to various health issues. Climate change is a significant geographical phenomena, further complicating the health outcomes through extreme weather events, altered disease patterns, and impact on food and water security. Disasters, particularly natural disasters, are also rooted in geography, and these can cause immediate injury and death, as well as long-term health effects due to displacement and loss of resources. Furthermore, exposure to excessive noise and artificial light, this can disrupt the sleep patterns and lead to stress and cardiovascular issues. Understanding the role of geography in health is crucial as we tried to move ahead with this course, recognizing that it has profound impact on environmental and spatial factors, and finally on our health and well-being. Now let us discuss the geographical factors in depth. Climate. The word paradigm, as per Thomas Kuhn, is a set of universally recognized principles, methodological processes, and cultural concepts that refers to the work of the scientific community of a certain era. One of the earliest paradigms of geography is environmental determinism, that posits the physical environment, particularly the climate, shapes human societies and behaviors. It suggests that climatic conditions have a direct and profound impact on human health, culture, and societal development. The tropical regions, that are the regions between Tropic of Cancer in the north and Tropic of Capricorn in the south, extending between 23.5 degrees north to 23.5 degrees south, are high temperature and high humidity areas owing to many factors including angle of sun rays, distance from the sun, and land water distribution, among many others. Accordingly, it is believed that tropical regions create favorable conditions for proliferation of disease vectors such as mosquitoes, leading to high incidences of vector-borne diseases including malaria and dengue fever. On the contrary, the temperate areas that lie between 23.5 degrees north and 66.5 degrees north, and similarly 23.5 degrees south and 66.5 degrees south in the southern hemisphere, that is between Tropic of Cancer to Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and Tropic of Capricorn to Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. These areas experience distinct seasonal variations that may influence the prevalence of respiratory illnesses, with colder winters leading to higher incidences of flu and respiratory infections. Similarly, altitude is also one of the determining factors. In high altitude areas, extreme cold can lead to hypothermia and frostbite. Human beings prefer to live in areas of conducive weather conditions. Extreme heat and cold can lead to an increase in morbidity and mortality. Populations in hot climate may face health challenges related to heat stress, dehydration, and heat stroke. High temperatures can cause heat exhaustion and heat stroke, dehydration, and even death. Recently, in India too, deaths due to extreme heat were reported. Europe, that lies in the temperate zone, is undergoing climate change where temperatures are soaring above average in summers, leading to heat-related illnesses and deaths. As per the Indian Meteorological Department, heat wave is considered if maximum temperature of a station reaches at least 40 degrees or more for plain areas and at least 30 degrees Celsius or more for hilly regions. Heat waves can be linked to an increase in cardiovascular and respiratory diseases and also kidney problems. Depending upon the level of exposure and vulnerability, the illnesses from extreme heat may range from minor illnesses such as fatigue, dizziness, breathlessness, skin rashes, dehydration, to heat exhaustion and life-threatening heat stroke. When exposed to high temperatures, the body tends to lose fluids through sweating, leading to dehydration. This can be aggravated to cause respiratory diseases including chronic pulmonary obstructive disease, commonly known as COPD, asthma, bronchitis, respiratory infections, cardiovascular diseases, and even cancer. Within heat-sensitive regions, populations, mainly elderly and young children, and the poor are the most vulnerable to adverse heat-related outcomes. Higher temperatures, when corresponds with higher emissions, the temperature may further peak up due to greenhouse gases that are trapping more and more heat. Urban heat island too amplifies the heat waves, and the foremost impact is dramatic rise in heat-related deaths. Higher temperatures negatively impact air quality and human health. In contrast to extreme heat, extreme cold is also not a suitable environment for human beings to grow and thrive. The non-freezing injuries associated with extreme cold are hypothermia, trench or immersion foot. Due to freezing, one may develop frost nip or frost bite on the skin. Other than these, it may also cause snow blindness and dehydration. In extreme cases, death due to heart attack and strokes may take place. Hypothermia is a condition in which the body is unable to maintain its core temperature. This condition is characterized by shivering, confusion, slurred speech, and difficulty in movement. Mountaineers and people living in high altitudes, such as on Siachen Glacier, often have to deal with these illnesses. A cold wave is a weather phenomena that is rapid fall in temperature within 24 hours to a level requiring substantially increased protection to agriculture, industry, commerce, and social activities. Cold wave may be caused due to absence of cloud cover in the region, snowfall, western disturbances, among many other factors. In India, during the winter months, the passage of western disturbances causes dry, cold, northwesterly winds which blow into north and central India, causing minimum temperatures to dip over northern India, resulting in cold wave conditions. India's core cold wave zone covers Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, and Telangana. In 2003, northern India's spell of bitterly cold weather has killed 80 people. In 2020, this increased to 150 people dying across the country due to cold wave. The highest number of deaths were recorded in 2011 when 722 people died. Cold waves increase the symptoms of asthma and other respiratory issues, leading to further health complications. The elderly and those with pre-existing conditions are particularly vulnerable. Altitude. Altitude has significant impact on health, influencing physiological responses and susceptibility to certain conditions. At higher altitudes, the reduced oxygen level and lower air pressure can affect the body in various ways. These are acute mountain sickness. Symptoms include headache, nausea, dizziness, and fatigue. This typically occurs when people ascend too quickly to high altitudes without proper acclimatization. Chronic mountain sickness, that is also known as Monge's disease, this condition can develop in long-term residents of high altitudes. It also includes respiratory issues, especially due to lower oxygen levels at higher altitudes, which can cause shortness of breath and decreased exercise tolerance. Individuals with pre-existing respiratory conditions may experience worsening symptoms. The cardiovascular effects include The heart must work harder to pump oxygenated blood throughout the body, which can strain the cardiovascular system. People with heart conditions may be at increased risk of complications. Hydration and nutrition. The dry air at high altitudes can lead to dehydration, and people lose more moisture through breathing. Appetite can decrease and the body's nutritional needs may change, requiring a higher intake of certain nutrients like iron. Sleep disturbances. High altitude can affect sleep patterns, leading to conditions such as periodic breathing or Shine strokes respiration. Sleep disturbances can contribute to fatigue and decreased overall health. Mental health. Some individuals may experience mood changes or cognitive impairment at high altitudes. Depression and anxiety can increase by altitude-related stress. Understanding the health impacts of altitude is crucial for people who live in or travel to high altitude regions, as well as for athletes and individuals with pre-existing health conditions. Proper acclimatization, hydration, nutrition and medical monitoring are essential to mitigate the adverse effect of high altitude on health. Air quality. The sources of air pollution are diverse and include both human activities and natural processes. Major anthropogenic sources include emissions from industries and power plants, which release pollutants like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. Vehicles contribute significantly to the release of carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons and particulate matter. The burning of fossil fuels, both for energy and transportation, is a leading cause of air pollution. Agricultural activities release ammonia and methane, while deforestation and biomass burning contribute to increased particulate matter and carbon emissions. Natural sources such as wildfires, volcanic eruptions and dust storm also play a role in air pollution. Collectively, these sources degrade air quality, posing significant health and environmental risks. Air pollution causes a spectrum of health effects ranging from eye irritation, skin infections, spread and rise of infectious diseases, asthma, allergic disorders, chronic respiratory disorders, heart and lung related diseases, cancers and even death in some cases. According to World Health Organization, the ambient or outdoor air pollution caused 4.2 million premature deaths worldwide in 2019. This mortality is due to exposure to fine particulate matter, which causes cardiovascular and respiratory disease and cancers. It also estimated that 37% of outdoor air pollution related premature deaths were due to ischemic heart disease and stroke. 18 and 23% of the deaths were due to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and acute lower respiratory infections respectively, and the remaining 11% deaths were due to cancer within the respiratory tract. Air pollution is the fifth most deadly risk factor as per the global burden of diseases. As per one of the study published in Lancet, 9 out of 10 deaths attributed to outdoor air pollution are in low and middle income countries. Air pollution is estimated to have shortened the global average life expectancy by 2.2 years. Water quality and quantity. Water quality is crucial for human health as contaminated water can lead to a variety of diseases and health effects. Poor water quality is often associated with waterborne diseases such as cholera, dysentery, typhoid, gastroenteritis and hepatitis A. According to the World Health Organization, more than 4 lakh diarrhea cases occur each year due to contaminated drinking water. Polluted water can contain harmful pathogens, chemicals, heavy metals, which can cause long-term health issues. including cancer and neurological disorders. Water pollution is associated with various harmful chemicals that can have detrimental effect on human health and environment. The important chemicals include nitrates and nitrites that can cause blue baby syndrome in infants, phosphates, heavy metals such as lead, mercury, cadmium and arsenic, pesticides and herbicides, VOCs, industrial chemicals that include polychlorinated biphenyls. These chemicals can enter water sources through various pathways including industrial discharge, agricultural runoff, improper waste disposals, leakage from landfills and various other factors that enter the ecosystem and eventually affect the human health. Access to clean and safe water is essential for preventing these diseases and ensuring that overall public health and well-being is in order. According to WHO, 2 billion people live in water-stressed countries, which is expected to aggravate due to climate change and global warming. Water stress causes societal tensions, political conflicts and unrest among population, and that can have spiraling effect on health, as political instability and tensions can negatively affect physical, mental and social well-being. Further, the probability of droughts, famines increase the incidence of malnutrition due to climate change. Soil pollution. Soil pollution poses a significant risk to human health through direct and indirect pathways. Contaminants in soil such as heavy metals, pesticides and industrial chemicals can enter the human body through ingestion, inhalation and dermal contact. Children who often play on the ground and have a higher likelihood of ingesting soil particles are particularly vulnerable. Exposure to lead contaminated soil, for instance, can lead to developmental disorders, cognitive deficiencies and behavioral issues in children. Other heavy metals such as cadmium and arsenic can cause various chronic diseases including cancer, kidney damage and respiratory problems. Additionally, pollutants in soil can leach into the groundwater, affecting the quality of drinking water. For example, nitrate contamination from agricultural fertilizers can cause methane hemoglobinemia or blue baby syndrome, which reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of blood in infants. The decline in soil health also affects agricultural productivity, which can lead to food shortages and increase reliance on imported goods, affecting the nutritional status and health of populations, especially in the developing countries. Land use and land cover changes. Land use and land cover changes have significant implications for human health, both directly and indirectly. These changes, often driven by urbanization, deforestation, agricultural and infrastructure development, can alter environmental conditions and ecosystem services, impacting health in various ways. Firstly, the growth of urban areas is associated with conversion of natural landscape, especially forest, barren areas, water bodies and other natural covers, into built environment. This leads to conversion of permeable land to impermeable land uses that can lead to increased temperature, air and water pollution. The loss of vegetation reduces the natural filtration of air pollutants, increases temperature and contributes to urban heat island effect, increasing the respiratory and cardiovascular conditions. Additionally, changes in land use can disrupt the local weather cycles, leading to water scarcity or contamination. Secondly, land use land cover change can affect the incidence and distribution of vector-borne diseases. Deforestation, for instance, disrupts ecosystem and can create favorable conditions for disease vectors such as mosquitoes, ticks and rodents. This increases the risk of diseases like malaria, dengue and Lyme diseases. Changes in land cover can also influence the habitats of these vectors and their hosts, potentially bringing them closer in contact with the human population. The alteration of land use and land cover can affect mental and physical well-being of human beings. The reduction of green spaces and natural areas in urban environments is associated with increased stress, anxiety, and depression. Access to parks and natural landscapes promotes physical activity, relaxation, social interaction that contributes positively to mental health. Conversely, the loss of these areas can lead to sedentary lifestyle and related health issues such as obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases. Disasters and human health. Disasters may be human-induced or natural in nature. Although most of the natural disasters have been occurring on this planet Earth since time immemorial, the number, frequency, and intensity of disasters have increased in the recent past. There are various new kinds of disasters that we are exposed to. Natural disasters such as hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, and wildfires can result in immediate injuries, fatalities, and displacement of population. The aftermath often brings challenges like contaminated water, compromised sanitation, and disrupted healthcare services, which heighten the risk of communicable diseases such as cholera, typhoid infections, and death due to non-availability of immediate health care. Human-induced disasters include industrial accidents, chemical spills, terrorist attack, air and rail accidents, and nuclear incidents. These also pose several health risks. Exposure to toxic substances can lead to acute poisoning, respiratory ailments, cancer, neurological disorders, or death. Technological disasters such as cyber attacks targeting healthcare infrastructure can disrupt medical services and compromise patient care and further complicate the emergency response efforts. Moreover, the psychological impact of disasters cannot be overstated. Survivors often experience trauma, anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorders, which can persist long after the event. Mental health services become crucial in the aftermath of disasters to protect individuals and communities in coping and recovery. The occurrence of a disaster is geographical in nature. A number of researchers have helped identify the hazard and disasters a region is exposed to. The NDMA, that is National Disaster Management Authority in India, has prepared the Atlas of Hazards and Disasters for all districts of the country. The third edition of Vulnerability Atlas of India was released in 2019. This is brought about by Building Material and Technology Promotion Council under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. This is a collection of existing hazard scenario for the entire country and presents the digitized state and union territory wise hazard maps with respect to earthquakes, wind and floods for district wise identification of vulnerable areas. This edition contains additional digitized maps for thunderstorms, cyclones and landslides. The Atlas also provides district-wise housing vulnerability risk tables based on wall types and roof types as per 2011 census housing data. Real-time data on predictions for few natural disasters is also available that helps in decision-making, emergency planning and post-disaster action, thereby reducing injuries and loss of life. Noise and light pollution. Noise pollution often exceeds permissible levels, particularly near transportation hubs, construction sites, and industrial zones. The noise from traffic, loudspeakers, and industrial machinery poses serious health risks. Other than this, prolonged use of earphones can also cause hearing issues. According to socio-economic criteria, populations at risk include homeless laborers, beggars, people living in slums. With respect to age and gender, infants and old and young adults are respectively highly vulnerable to the negative impacts of noise pollution. Prolonged exposure to levels of noise can lead to hearing loss and impairment, affecting individuals of all ages and gender. Noise pollution also contributes to stress and disturbs sleep pattern, leading to fatigue, irritability, and reduced productivity. Chronic exposure to noise has been linked to hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, and increased risk of stroke. Light pollution, defined as excessive or misdirected artificial light at night, has emerged as a significant human health concern. Urbanization and industrialization have dramatically increased the prevalence of light pollution, altering natural light-dark cycle that regulate biological rhythms and ecosystem behaviors. One of the primary health concerns associated with light pollution is its impact on sleep patterns and circadian rhythms. This disruption leads to sleep disorders such as insomnia, fatigue, impaired cognitive function, and mood disorders. Chronic sleep deprivation is linked to increased risk of cardiovascular diseases, obesity, diabetes, and compromised immune function. With this, we cover the geographical and environmental factors that determine health status and outcome. In the next module, we will cover factors including socio-economic, socio-cultural, political, demographic, biological, and other factors. Till then, wish you good health and great learning experience. Thank you.